Hey guys, it is the season finale of Roadies. Grab your box of Kleenex and tune in, and we have a special guest on this episode, Winston, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This is the title of the episode, The Loadout.
Yes.
Jackson Browne. I've heard this song since I was a little kid. My mom used to love Jackson Browne. And so fun to see his cameo in this episode. This very heartfelt, tear-jerking episode.
It's a very emotional time. Oh no, an emotional hour in my day today and kind of life.
We just needed to take a minute. We're a little bit late getting started today because we just had to regroup a little bit.
Touch up the makeup.
Yes.
You know, redo the hair.
Take a deep breath.
I don't know why you'd have to redo
started.
our hair, but yes, the season finale of Roadies, you guys. It is the end of the road for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with us for these 10 episodes, these 10 wonderful episodes of Roadies on Showtime. We are so excited to have a special guest with us in the studio today. And before we get to our special guest, we'll just introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Tamra. You can find me on Twitter at BrownTamra.
Yes, and I'm Madison Conklin. You guys can find me on Twitter at Maddie Says This and on Instagram at Maddie Says This as well. And our special guest, drumroll, Ethan Michael Mora,
our very own Winston.
Yes, welcome to AFTERBUZZ, Ethan.
Thank you.
How are you feeling after this final episode?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad
over.
one.
It's
For
well
now.
for now. For now.
For now.
And you don't have any inside information if we're gonna be seeing you again on Roadies.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Well, we will find out soon.
Yeah. Well, this was our season finale. This is episode 10 of the first season, The Loadout. And I have to say, I lost a bet because I had bet my boyfriend from the last episode. I thought Phil was still alive.
You did?
I did, and I think we talked about it at the end of the last recap. We kind of thought that Phil was going to make it.
Yeah.
I did. I thought despite Puna's prediction and everything, I thought Phil was going to make it.
Yeah, because it would have been a great twist to keep him alive. But what better way to go out, finish the season with the most iconic character of the series, passing on to the next life, next whatever he's got going. I mean, I think the whole base of the episode was Phil's memorial and just really remembering him, and that's also the series finale. So all these emotions. But it was a really good way, I think, to wrap
send him
up.
off.
Yeah.
And with all the special guests in this episode, this was just, Cameron Crowe, and it only makes sense that the Phil character is gone because I think it was episode 8 was when they were on the bus and it was basically giving Phil's life story. So it's like, duh, why didn't I not realize that, that should have been an indicator that Phil's days are numbered.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have the life story backtrack episode.
Yeah.
But
well, real quick, Ethan, what was it like working with Ron White, aka Phil? What were your impressions?
He is extremely nice. But I was...
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly. Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yes, he was awesome. Everybody on set was amazing.
Did he make you laugh?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Did you pick up some bad habits? Maybe some potty
Holding
mouth
a
from
scotch
him?
in one hand.
No.
In real life, does he have a scotch in one hand and a cigar in the other?
No.
That must be part of his shtick.
That's his stand-up.
But so I mean, he's a comedian, and Tamra and I have both said we're just so amazed what a great actor he is. Did he teach you anything acting wise, or give you any life lessons?
No, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you teach him anything acting wise?
Yeah.
No.
No.
So Ethan, you've been an actor since you were 2 years old, so you're not necessarily new to the game. So I bet for a lot of the people in the cast, you've been doing it longer than they have.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
And you were telling us before we started, the episode tonight, that this has by far been your favorite project. Tell us why.
you know, everybody, like I said, is extremely nice. They're so easy to work with. I actually love everybody.
Yeah.
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 That's great.
Good.
That's
And the music? Are you a big music person, musician, and do you play instruments?
I do play a little bit of guitar for, roadies.
Yeah, for roadies. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this really was a good project for you to put out there your music chops, your acting chops, everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
that's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and how was it working with Cameron Crowe?
He's by far the nicest. One of the nicest. He is amazing.
Yeah?
He's someone that I would actually hang out with
Yeah.
offset.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is that?
He's really awesome.
Yeah.
You can talk to him about anything. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you guys have when you're shooting and you have kind of like downtime, are people listening to music? Do you have music playing in the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you learned about some? Has anybody introduced some bands to you?
I knew all of them actually.
Really?
You did?
Before.
Wow. Well, you got a leg up on me.
Are your parents really into rock and roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a rock and roll love child.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's good when you're raised on good music.
On good music, I'm telling you what, oldies are here to stay. Rock and roll,
I mean,
everything.
for me, I was raised on Jackson Brown. We had Lindsey Buckingham in early episodes. I mean, so much of this show was just a love letter to rock and roll. This finale you could say it was like a eulogy to rock and roll. I don't want to say that because I'm not one of those people that thinks that rock and roll is dead. There's always, all the time you always hear people say like, oh, there's no good music anymore. I will never believe that. I can be 80 years old. I will never believe that there's no good music anymore.
Yeah.
There's always something new on the horizon that really has the heart of whatever it is that spoke to you when you were 10 years old, for example.
Yeah.
Ethan, what do you listen to?
I
What's on
listen
your
to
iPod?
John Mellencamp,
Yeah?
Yes.
the Beatles, Billy Joel,
Yeah?
Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Slay, Ethan. Yes.
Oh my goodness, you're an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High five to that.
Way to
That's
get
what I
down.
was kind of raised on too. The oldies. Well, speaking of music, I mean, despite the dialogue, I would say there was probably more music this episode compared to any episode, and fewer dialogue and interaction. I mean, there was plenty of interaction, but this was very heavy and music based, which
definitely.
I really liked because it kind of just moved the episode along and told the story through the songs of Phil. You know, kind of told the story of Phil's life, the memorial, and how it just, I don't know, the loadout and everything.
His son says how Phil brought the Doobie Brothers to his graduation from Vanderbilt. So, his son is successful. And how cool would that be if the Doobie Brothers signed your diploma? That would be amazing. All of this, creating this amazing, backstory of the amazing character that is Phil, and everybody that's worked with him.
I almost felt like he was a real person, and that a real person
sure.
had actually passed away, and I need to look him up. I need a Wikipedia. Phil.
Yeah.
Roadies.
Phil Valentine.
Yeah, Phil Valentine from Roadies.
Yeah, for sure. So this episode, it sort of started out, or the beginning of the episode, we see the skateboard. So I feel like lots of different parts of this episode came full circle.
Yeah, from the beginning,
from
all
the-
those
the- from
loose
the first
ends.
episode.
We kept saying there were so many loose ends the first couple episodes. Like, you'd be given Kellyanne on her skateboard, and then it'd be done. And then you'd have Wes doing something, and then it'd be done. So we're like, well, where is this all leading to?
Yeah.
And it came full circle. Mm-hmm. And I think a majority of our questions were answered in this episode.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And also symbolically, it came full circle with, Reg, the final scene is him.
Should we get to that? Yeah. Should we start?
Well,
from
I always jump around, but we can start from. We can
Well,
start.
no,
We can
let's
go.
jump.
Yeah. I always just go stream of consciousness, whatever part of the episode pops into my head, but I'm open to whatever.
let's do
But
it.
we can. I was gonna say the end of the episode is Reg watching the video that Kellyanne made for him. But we haven't seen Kellyanne's her film editing and things like that. The film is supposedly means a lot to her. That wasn't something we've seen since the first episode. So that was another revisit to something that we only saw in the
That was
first
kind
episode.
of thrown up in the air and then just left.
Yeah.
Kind of like waiting to catch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was just one of the things. But now we can go chronologically and talk about, I'm still just so blown away by seeing, we saw Gary Clark Jr., we saw Nicole Atkins, Jim, I want to say Jim Jones. It's Jim James from My Morning Jacket. But just the star-studded appearances in this episode were really, really fun to watch. So just paints the picture of what an incredible history this Roadies character had and everybody that he's toured with.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it was fun to see that flushed out.
It was also fun and shocking to see Sean show up
I knew.
right after Bill and Shelley got done with a makeout session.
Yeah.
I really was like, who is this guy? And then Bill just started kind of getting a little antsy, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Sean. It's Sean. It's her husband. What did you think? Because this was your first time seeing the episode too.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I was really
Like shocked, like
Shocked,
I lost for words,
yeah.
like, oh my God, no.
I
You called it,
I
though.
called it. I
You
said we
called
were
it.
going to see Sean in the final episode.
Yes, Tamra. I even said that. I was like, Tamra called it. Tamra did call it.
So it was fun to see Sean. We kind of knew where Shelley and Bill were heading, and that their love story. I kind of like that Sean just kind of steps aside, sort of.
Yeah, not really. He doesn't fight it. He's like, okay, well, so pretty much, Sean comes to visit Shelley. He's all in, him and Bill are buddy, and Sean tells Bill that, he and Shelley are ready to start a family, have kids, settle down. And Bill's like, oh my God, my time is running out to, get Shelley back,
Yeah.
And, Sean tries to pull some moves on his wife and, get that whole baby thing going. But in the end, she...
So cliche.
Right?
The man that he tells her he's ready for a family. So
Right.
she's supposed to abandon her career. No,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Go Shelley. That's not her
Right.
style.
Right.
We've known as long as this show has gone on that Shelley digs the job, and she's not about to give it up to for a traditional lifestyle.
Yeah. And so then Sean, tries to woo her with tickets to the Maldives and, go with me. Let's start our family. And she just says, he kisses her and she's like, no, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I'm not the last guy you've kissed. She goes, no. He goes, okay, well, I'm going to take this chick to the Maldives. I'm like, what? You are such a scumbag.
Exactly.
Ew.
Well, that was a little surprising for me because
Jenny? Who's Jenny?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
Well, that seemed a little cheap to me because it's like it was he could tell that she had something else going on with Bill. That's reasonable
It's so
because
apparent, though.
you can tell you can tell if somebody's not being as attentive via phone or text. So maybe he did suspect that she was giving her attention to somebody else. But then all of a sudden that's fine, I'm going with Jenny or whatever.
Yeah.
I felt like I would have preferred a more realistic where Sean's he's just brokenhearted. It's not
Right.
like, oh, it's okay, you
But
go
you
off
gotta
me with your
think,
person because I've got my person too.
He was touring with Taylor Swift. He
Yeah.
was dealing with some high
for
profile
sure.
stuff. He
Yeah.
was
In
definitely
space.
Yeah.
Maybe Jenny
dipping
is-
his spoon into another flavor of ice cream for sure.
Jenny's an astronaut.
Yeah. What did you think of that? How Shelley just point blank told Sean, I don't want to be with you, and then the way Sean handled it.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well, what about it was horrible? I mean, there were so many horrible things, but
all of it. I mean, just the fact that he didn't care about it. I just
and he was so I'm so in love with you. I want to have your children, and then he's like, well, you don't want to go to the Maldives, then I'm going to take my other friend. You know,
it was so Jerky.
Yeah, jerky elementary.
I think that was unnecessary to make him a jerk because he could have just been a nice guy and it could have just ended with,
but it's
you know,
always
sometimes
fun to
things
have
happen.
the jerk, the jerk character, especially the husband, and you're rooting for Bill and Shelley and you want them to make it, and you bring in the jerk, you're like, no one likes you, Sean, That's how
Poor
I feel.
Sean. Ethan, I have a question for you. So Winston was supposed to be like this devil child.
Yeah.
You had to say some bad words in this show.
Yeah.
You had to say the F word a lot.
Yeah.
How did your mom and dad feel about that?
They were okay with it because,
You had to.
it's a
It's
great
your job.
job.
'Cause you're like, I am
meaty
getting
role.
paid to say the F word,
Yeah.
Mom. Sorry.
but my mom was cool with it. My
Yeah.
dad was cool with it.
Yeah.
Now, did they go
Yeah.
to set with you every time you were filming, or
Only my mom did.
only your mom? Okay, very cool. So she got to experience this as well. And Tamra, you were watching a different station, but his mom was getting very emotional and crying about it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she got to. I'm glad we got to all experience this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did a great job. You did a great job playing a
Yeah.
hell child.
you.
How'd you like working with Wes, that character? You guys
Yeah.
were, buddy, and
He's extremely nice. Like, everyone is nice.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said. He's really cool.
yeah.
Do you call him Machine Gun?
No, we call him Colson.
You call him Colson. Okay.
Okay, and you guys, had a little bit of a bromance. Do you look up to him as like a big brother or mentor or anything?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's so cool that, those other relationships off screen develop between characters
Yeah.
while they're developing on screen.
Do you have any, does Winston resonate with you at all? Do you ever
you
get
a
into
devil
trouble
child?
at
No.
home? At home or at school?
Not really.
Not
no.
really.
Yeah, pretty rule abiding. Listen to mom and dad. Do your chores.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Was that like a you didn't make your bed today type thing, or?
No, I do that.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
You've
good
only
for
set
you.
a few things on fire.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, then, wide range as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making that stretch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Winston was a great character. He was a lot of fun, and I hope to see him again if the show comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what are we thinking? Are we going to see season 2?
I think so. The way I'm going to jump around.
Yeah.
Oh well, with the chronological, I believe that with the way it ended, Reg was on the plane watching the video Kellyanne made for him, which is pretty much summarizing the entire season, but all their little moments together, those moments that we maybe didn't see, but kind of a behind the scenes of the roadies, like in the show, not actual behind the scenes footage. And he gets a pie to the face, so he's inducted
one of them.
officially into the roadies family. So Reg is now a roadie. And, he's on the plane to go back to England after asking Kellyanne to go with him. And I actually thought Kellyanne might have given in and said, yes, I'll go to England with you. But again, not her style. So independent.
I'm actually surprised she didn't.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm
too.
saying. I
Yeah.
am too. I was hoping she would. Like,
Yeah.
they had
Why
that.
didn't she?
Because it's Kellyanne. She's like, no, I can't. I don't follow people. And Reg goes, well, you follow the band. She goes, yeah, but that's different. He goes, I know.
Yeah.
So anyways, it ends with Reg running off the plane, going back to the forum and pounding on the door for someone to open. And then we're left there. So it's total cliffhanger, totally able
Yeah.
to move forward and pick up exactly where we left off.
It's a great place to leave it.
So, I mean, the possibilities for second season are endless,
Yeah.
The band is breaking up, but now we can follow, the lives of Bill and Shelley as they manage just, is it Tom I think they're going to manage?
Yeah.
And then all the other roadies. I mean,
Because Christopher is, like, back with Janine, apparently.
yeah, Christopher and Janine show up at the memorial, and Natalie and, what's his character's name?
Rick.
Rick. Yeah, Natalie and Rick are now married. It's just like so many different storylines are
There's
developing.
a lot going on. There's a lot to grab hold onto in this show. Wait, Ethan, what are you? I almost called you Winston. What are your? Ethan, who are your favorite characters on this show?
You know what? I would have to say Colson.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorites.
Wes.
Wes, and Ooh, I like everybody actually. Milo.
Yeah.
Milo?
Yeah.
We got to interview
we
him.
got to
He
meet
was
him.
Milo.
Peter was on the show.
Yeah.
He was very great. It gave us a lot of cool.
Now, what about
insider
Milo's?
info.
What about Peter Camboard or Milo? Did you really like, or like, what about him made you, really close to him?
I feel really bad for him. 'Cause
Yeah.
every time he's about to go up on stage.
Oh yeah, and he never got that
never
moment.
He never.
Now that we talk about it, I'm surprised Cameron Crowe didn't put him up during the
eulogy.
memorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Milo. He'll never get his
Poor
break.
Milo.
Never
So
got
close, but so far away.
Yeah. Well, that was I mean, the cast, everybody on the show is so entertaining, but there's just so many characters and a lot to grasp onto. So there's a lot of not loose ends, but like there was a lot to wrap up with like everybody's storylines, and so we Donna has a baby now.
Yeah.
And
we find out what Phil's final word was.
we find out what
That was a huge thing.
whispered in a very like lost in translation style. He whispered something to Kellyanne, and everybody wants to know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pistachio.
Pistachio.
Yep.
Nice.
And if anything, it made me hungry for them. But no,
Yeah.
I thought to begin with, I thought it might have been his son's nickname. You know, because when Kellyanne said, and his last word was pistachio, it goes to the son, Vernon, and he just smiles. So you're like, oh, it's got to be Vernon's nickname. Like he was thinking of his son. Turns out it is Kellyanne's nickname, that long-awaited nickname she's been dying to get, and she finally got it as Phil's final word.
Yeah. Pistachio was a horse that Phil always bet on, which his son lets Kellyanne know that was his favorite racing horse, and so that's to indicate that Phil bets on Kelly. He sees her as being
She's gonna win the race.
the most, has the most potential in the long run. What that means, I guess it's still up into interpretation. Does that mean he sees her as somebody who's supposed to move on from the road and pursue film or whatever her desire is, or does that mean she's going to remain a roadie and she's the one that's destined to become the new Phil? Like whatever it means, Phil has a lot of faith in
right,
in
but I don't think
Kellyanne.
Kelly has the capacity to be a new Phil. She's too.
Well, she's also
She's
super
too
young.
Kellyanne. Yeah, exactly.
Think about Phil in those flashbacks when he was just like like those flashbacks seemed so un-Phil because they just had like this
He was a ripe
young
new
skinny,
orange
right?
into the
like it just didn't seem like what they would have Phil being, but like seeing those flashbacks of Phil in episode 8 makes me seem like Kellyanne could be 40 years down the road. She could be the grizzled, Phil telling stories on the bus about touring with Staton-House Band. So you never know.
That's a prediction, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, because not that we're gonna see that unless this show has a 40-year run.
Right.
But,
yeah. No. Definitely not.
But Oh, I forgot to mention Eddie Vedder in this episode too. Such good star power. Did you get to meet Eddie Vedder?
Actually, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool. Did you get
was
to
pretty
meet
cool.
all of the guest stars through the whole season?
No, not all of them.
Yeah.
But a few of them.
Definitely John
Yeah.
Mellencamp.
Yeah.
You guys had that great scene together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Great, actually.
Were you intimidated at all? I mean, it's John Mellencamp.
A little bit.
Yeah?
A little bit. I was kind of nervous.
Now, what do you do when you get to have these, moments or these roles with these, huge names in Hollywood? How do you kind of get the nerves away?
Once you get to meet them, that I never really get that nervous because all of them are extremely nice.
I assume, because I assume to you, like, John Mellencamp just as the guy that you met doing your job. Like, you're just going in for another day of work, and he's just a guy that you're working with for the day, rather than the guy that's saying Jack and Diane, whatever.
Well, you said you listened to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you knew his stuff.
I knew like all of his stuff.
See?
Yeah.
There we
So-
go. So you might have
That's
been,
impressive.
were you fanboying a little bit?
A little.
Yeah, maybe not as much so
I
as
was
your mom was
really
fangirling.
I was really intimidated that I was playing guitar in front of John Mellencamp
Yeah.
right there.
I mean, that's something you got to check
Yeah.
off your bucket list.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
you're
every
10
day
years
you're gonna
old.
play.
I mean, you're 10. Chances are you play better guitar at 10 than he did at 10, you know?
Yeah.
You never know.
Who knows? Start young?
He probably started later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we kind of touched on this before, and you said you listen to music, play a little bit of music. Do you see music in your career, like in your future at all?
No, not
No,
really.
Just acting.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. Very cool. And this show, I feel, was a comedy, was a drama, was serious, lighthearted, a romance. What kind of genre are you hoping, or are you wanting to explore more?
Well, I'm a big fan of horror.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Boy. Whew.
Fun.
Sorry, I will not be seeing any of your horror films. I'm too scared to watch scary movies. I literally have to have a nightlight on.
Yeah, my second favorite movie is actually The Shining.
Oh, nice.
This kid is so cultured. At 10,
Yeah.
I'm going to give your mom a hug. She raised
Yeah.
you right.
Already dipping into Kubrick.
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah. So, horror,
What's your-
you're
wait,
thinking.
Yeah.
what's your
that-
first then?
First, probably The Shining.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First The Shining. Okay.
Oh, no, wait. It was, I forgot the name. The Babadook. That's another horror movie.
Oh, I've
don't
heard
even-
of that. I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. So
It's-
horror might be in your future.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to have a lot of guts for
Directing?
that. Get it,
Or
guts,
acting?
horror.
Acting.
Acting. That's cool. Right on.
Yeah.
I actually did do a horror short film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called Time to Eat.
Time to eat.
Yeah.
I'm guessing zombies or what?
No, I'm not going to spoil anything,
What? Okay. No spoilers.
but it's pretty scary.
No, where can fans find it?
You can find it on YouTube
Okay.
at if you just look up Time to Eat.
Time to
it's
Eat
the first
YouTube, maybe
result.
with your name,
Yeah.
Ethan Michael Mora. Okay. Definitely, we'll have to check it out.
It's directed by Luke Asagudici.
Oh, okay.
Luke Asagudici.
Luke Asagudici. Is that right?
Okay.
Did I say
Yeah.
that
That's a
right?
mouthful.
Yeah. But let's tie up the episode. Oh, well, one other thing, Ethan, is Winston told Wes that he assumed Wes was going to move on, and he probably wasn't going to see him again. So, do you think that was that it for Wes's character?
You know, I don't think so. I don't think that would happen.
Yeah.
No, I think they're just too
Yeah.
close.
There was
Yeah.
a bond
Yeah.
there. They're like bros. So we finished the episode also with Kelly gives Reg a gift.
A package.
Yeah.
It's been all over
big
the world.
box that's got stamps on it and stickers from all over.
Right.
Sing Better Days.
Yeah, and it ends up being his brown leather Gucci bag.
Fendi.
Or Fendi, thank you,
Yeah.
Fendi, yeah.
I was just
I was a little confused by the significance. I mean,
I was
obviously, the first episode, he's lost it, and he's so torn up about it. He's like, I need to find my bag, I need to
It
find
was
my
a
bag.
weird nugget in several episodes. He kept
Yeah.
mentioning his Fendi, and I was just like, what?
So what's the symbolism of it?
It was just a weird sort of to me, her giving him the Fendi was just it's sort of tied up a loose end that I didn't really care about. It
Yeah.
tied up a loose end that was just sort of
I'm
in
sure
the background.
Cameron was like, all right, we gotta
Yeah.
talk about this.
Yeah, like it was just one of those little details that was mentioned a few times through different episodes, but didn't really have much significance aside from the fact that Reg was initially a guy that was very like materialistic, very corporate, and I guess the Fendi represented that side
Riches.
of him.
Yeah, his riches.
Yeah.
And then he
So,
kind of finds out there's more to life than money and,
yeah.
being successful.
So,
It's-
but if that
really
were the
core
case,
group
if
of
that's
people.
the logic of it, then Kelly giving him this gift of the Fendi is like it's almost saying like, no, you go ahead and pursue your corporate life, and that's not
continue your
that's
life
not
after
what
Roadies.
she's saying. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? But so to wrap up the episode, we're back at the forum in the I don't want to call it the lobby bar, but we're at one of the bars, and
Oh, by the way, cool that this was in the forum because, hello, we're Los Angeles here, so always love any episode that's a nod to Los Angeles.
absolutely. Shelly's there by herself drinking a PBR. Bill walks up. He starts to go into a spiel about how he's not the right guy for her. He cannot give her what she wants or needs. But, and he knows she should be with Sean because he can provide all that. But Shelly needs to be with Bill. And at this point, Bill doesn't know Shelly told Sean, sayonara, sucker. And, Shelly lets him, kind of leads him on, like, yeah, I know I should be with Sean, like I am with Sean. But of course, my prediction that they fell in love and they're going to stay together happened. It came true. And she's like, she says something. I think she goes, she's blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, I choose you. I choose us. Which I was just like, melt my heart. This is what love is, So I was just happy that they finally, they admit to loving each other, but they admit to wanting to commit to each other.
Yeah.
Which was so great.
I'm not surprised. I could see that. Yeah, that ending has been
the
set
chemistry
up.
and tension between them
Yeah.
from the start, obviously. But you never know, Shelly.
I mean, he seems like, because of that weird, I'm going off with Jenny detail that Sean throws out, it's almost just like Bill does seem like the more stable, conservative guy, like the more just stable, emotionally available dude, if they're going to portray Sean like that. So, I don't know. I'm down for whatever. I feel like Shelly is a modern woman who, she's career oriented. So, love plays second fiddle to that. So, yeah. I'm cool with how it wrapped up.
Me too.
Are we all on the same page? Do we like how the season wrapped up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any favorite moments for you from a first-hand being in the show? What some favorite moments of the show and filming it?
I loved all of it.
Yeah.
Every little bit of it was
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all great.
And I guess we can't do predictions because we don't. I predict there's going to be a second season. I hope.
Yeah. I don't know if I think there's going to be. Maybe, but I hope so. But it's one of those season finales that wraps up in a way that it's like it leaves so that there's place for season 2 to start, where the story will go, but it also wraps up pretty nicely this season too. So
yeah.
Who knows?
Absolutely.
We'll see.
We'll just have to wait and see.
You know, in season 2, I am really looking forward to see more of Winston and his dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit of,
Tom
character
was a cool
development.
character. Your dad, Tom, in the show was a cool guy. And I really would have liked to have seen more of Tom in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Second season.
But I suppose it's more realistic that the rock star is not necessarily a family man.
The most present.
Yeah, the most present
Yeah.
family man. So when we see more of his son than we see of him, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ethan, do you have any projects that we should look out for?
Well, I did just do a commercial with John Favreau. It's for Capital One.
Cool.
Okay. And that'll be airing in the States and everything. Yeah. Okay, very cool.
How was it working with John Favreau?
He was amazing too.
Yeah. You said very fun, very nice
He seemed
guy.
Chill.
He seems like
chill.
super fun.
Chill.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Have you picked up any bad habits from Winston?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, I did learn how to use a butterfly knife.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The butterfly knife.
The Balisong. I only know what that is. Was that the first episode that they mentioned that? It was one of the early ones, but
I think it's in episode 2.
yeah, it was something like that. I had just learned what my boyfriend teaches martial arts, so he knows how to do the flip with the Balisong knife, and I had just learned what that was. And then you mentioned the butterfly, aka the Balisong knife, in the episode, and I was just like, "Whoa, it's a real thing!" I didn't.
Actually, Cameron's son actually taught me how to use it.
Oh, really?
really?
Oh, so you know how to do it?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
How old is Cameron's son?
I think Actually, I don't know.
Is he like a teenager or is he older?
I think teenager.
Yeah.
Major. Okay.
Well, that's cool.
Very
Well,
cool.
now you play guitar and you can use a butterfly knife.
Yeah.
Woo.
What else are you gonna pick up from Roadies?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming into the studio
absolutely.
with us
Thank
today.
you, Ethan. You were great.
Yeah, we loved having you on the show, and we love seeing you as Winston on the show. We hope to see more of you. Hopefully, we'll get to.
Yeah.
In the next
You want to
season.
tell our viewers again where they can find you on Twitter?
At Ethan Michael Mo 1.
Okay. Any Instagram or Snapchat?
I do have an Instagram.
Okay.
It is that guy EM.
That guy EM. For Ethan
22.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy
EM 22.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
Is
Great.
that stuff from like behind the scenes kind of stuff, or just whatever you want?
No,
you take
just-
pictures of.
Whatever I want. Mostly on Twitter.
Twitter's where you're kind of okay.
Yeah.
Behind
Fun.
the scenes. Great, great. Well, you guys, my name's Madison Conklin. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Maddie Says This.
And I am Tamra Brown. You can find me on Twitter at Brown Tamra and on Instagram at Tamra_blue. And thank you guys so much for sticking with us through this season of Roadies. It was a lot of fun. Please continue to like, share, and comment. Tell us your thoughts about the episode and whether you think we're going to see season 2 and what you think we're going to see. So
Absolutely.
yeah, keep communicating with us.
Keep
and
on keeping on.
keeping on. And we hope to see you next time.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.